If you can see, hear, taste, or smell something, does that make it real? Or is it simply the ability to feel? I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality. Now, what do you see?
I really hope that you've enjoyed that example of Morgan Freeman. If I didn't know that was a fake video, I'll be fooled. So I want us to talk about this opportunity. What does this mean for us as designers? It means that we can deliver engaging content that we can use to create it for educational purposes. You can have like a far richer experience, and you can use the capability, to use a figure for a particular brand, and you can actually consistently use that AI generated human being to deliver this message. And the other opportunity is for us to create text to speech models. What this means is that if you've got a bunch of like exciting articles, and instead of like using a voice that sounds like a robot, we can start creating like speech models that sound realistic, that sounds like human being, etc. And this will solve a lot of problems, yeah, especially when you need to like maybe read an article, but you are maybe on the go, maybe you're driving, and it will be great to easily convert a text-based article to a speech. Or maybe you're just chilling at home, you just want to like listen to something, and you just want to rest your eyes. So yeah, that's a great opportunity. And then the other one is for us to create engaging video explainers, much faster. And instead of like using like sticky mans, we can now like use like human based beings that can be generated by machine learning and AI. And so that the message can be delivered by a a real looking person. And what this means is that even for brands, once they create like a particular brand, because they don't need to fire that person won't get drunk, that person won't get into some scandals, because it's an AI driven human being. And that could be like the brand ambassador. And yeah, so this is an opportunity to deliver like a consistent experience of that particular brand using a fake a human being. um, Obviously this person can't go and do promotions in physical spaces unless we use like technology again to bring that person alive, so to speak.
Making videos and images is a sophisticated and technical process. In this 64-part course,
No, we don't have time for this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
but what about my video?
So yeah, guys, I mean that was like an exciting video from Rhineway ML. It's an online video editing platform. And you've seen some capabilities to be able to remove objects, and to be able to track people and objects that are like in the move. And it has got a green screen capability, so you don't necessarily need to buy like the physical like sheet, to shoot like awesome videos. This makes life much easier, and you've got the option to convert text to image. I know we often look for like images that will support the caption for an article or whatever content, and this is a great opportunity, because if you can just search an awesome image from a library and quickly generate an awesome video that you can edit without hassle, that is great. And I mean, a lot of these capabilities without AI, and they become very tedious and energy absorbing, and it takes a lot of time to perfect those details. And yeah, through the technical capability of machine learning and AI, this takes video editing to the next level, and I mean, there's a lot more that I didn't mention about Runway, but yeah, there's a lot more. You can check out their website. So yeah, what does this mean, right? It means that we can, as designers, right, we can use these capabilities to quickly produce these awesome videos, right, so that we can create like a rich experience. This will be very important, especially in the Web3 space. When you talk about metaverse, we don't want to just be like reading content of websites. We want to have these like rich digital experiences where we use rich multimedia to engage with the brands, and if I'm exploring a website, in a metaverse context, I want to be able to listen, to your, an AI, generated brand ambassador that can tell me that can tell a story of your brand, someone that can easily, persuade me to buy a product, right? And that would mean, we can now start like mimicking, the experiences that you would have if we were to interacting with a brand, physically, could be in a store, in a branch, etc., right? And yeah, I mean, like these are like the possibilities that are coming into the design space if you researching about metaverse and Web3 in general. So yeah.
80% of what people play on Netflix actually comes from the recommendation algorithm. So it's a really big lever for Netflix. It's a really important part of what we do.
So yeah, guys, that was like a short clip from Netflix, and I'd love to just talk a bit about them, how they use AI and machine learning. So I mean, we've seen how today people don't actually search for movies. If you fire Netflix, you're likely to find something that you likely to watch. The effort that you need to do is to actually just to browse, the top 10, the top trending in a particular country, top movies, top documentaries, etc., right? And that's like really like the effort that is like required. Although you can go and search, and do an intensive search to find a relevant movie, and because they want you to chill with Bay, so that you can Netflix and chill, they've taken the effort of finding a relevant content to watch, out of your hands, so that they can help you, to really, get to watch what is relevant to you without sweating. So the recommendations, right? Looking at them, how they recommend movies, looking at movies that you've liked, movies that you've watched, and recommend something similar to them. And also what I've noticed is there's like awesome way of auto-generating, thumbnails, and these thumbnails are basically, created based on the on your taste. So maybe if you watch a movie with a particular like actor in it, and if there's like another similar movie that they want to recommend to you, they will use that image, of that actor, right? So that means if we are firing like Netflix online, we we can have like different thumbnails for the same movie. And my favorite actor is Morgan Freeman, and they will use that. And maybe if your favorite actor is, I don't know, let's say Arnold Schwarzenegger, for instance, or Bruce Lee, or I don't know, whoever. I don't know much about movies, but they will actually pull the relevant actors, or scenes that are likely to convince you to watch a movie, right? It's like an awesome way to persuade watchers. And the other thing that I want to talk about was is that the other thing I want to talk about is how they customize their highlights using an AI driven capability. So imagine they've got like tons and of movies, probably thousands of them, that they create maybe on a monthly basis. um, and to produce highlights of a movie, it's very like a you know an intense exercise. So if you can teach a machine, how to pick certain scenes, compile them, that is great, right? And so yeah, I mean, usually this is what people do. They have to sit down, watch an entire movie, and then pick, the highlights from the movies, etc. Right? Something similar to how movies actually get rated. That people were employed to watch the entire movie and rate it, and say, hey, is this suitable for 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds, or 21-year-olds? In terms of sex, nudity, violence, etc. Right? Yeah, I mean, probably even stuff like that can be done now by AI and machine learning, to recognize if there are certain scenes that are regarded to be, you know, suitable for people who are much older. Anyways, so yeah, the other example that I wanted to talk about was LinkedIn. We use LinkedIn quite a lot, and LinkedIn, you know, 5 years ago, or more than that, was not an active platform. People were hardly using it. They would just use it to post jobs, and that's it. But now we've actually became to be a lot more active on LinkedIn, and people are sharing articles. People are like sharing their like celebrations at work. People are sharing like awesome events that happen to them, that are relevant to their working space. And maybe if someone gets a new job, you'll see those like awesome like statuses, saying I'd love to share that I am now working for company X, etc. Right? And as a result of that, there's a lot of like AI and machine, driven activities, machine learning driven activities. You'll see like relevant job recommendations, because they will analyze and understand, the field that you are in, and also try to match you with the relevant, jobs that are posted, etc. And they also like try to encourage users to connect with relevant people. So yeah, like you'll see, okay, maybe if you're in the design space, a UX UI designer, motion designer, graphic designer, or maybe a UX engineer, etc. Right? You'll start like seeing more suggestions, to connect with those people that are relevant, and also even the people that are influential, right, in the relevant space that you're at. And also, even when you look at the content, right, they'll like get to understand that, okay, this person is actually interested in design content and design related content. And they'll start like you start seeing that, you'll start noticing that in your feed. So yeah, and the other opportunity is for us to look at how financial services uses AI and machine learning. And credit scoring has become an automated exercise, where they analyze your credit worthiness, and they pull, information from data sources. And if you've bought, let's say clothes, and you've opened an account with a clothing company, maybe H&M, or with Edgar's, or with Zara, etc. They are able to to check that. Maybe you've bought a car and you took a loan, a home loan, right? So yeah, all those like data sources become important. And we can actually automate the process of analyzing if a person has actually been paying on time, and also looking at their credit history, if they've defaulted, etc., right? And the other opportunity to be able to automate and assign financial advisors. So yeah, I mean, just like with Uber, yeah, sure, you want advice, but if you've got a good quality of advisors, and advisors who can match your interest, and who have experience in the budget field. Maybe it's investing overseas, or maybe helping families to buy their first house, and maybe helping you to make better financial decisions in terms of the life stage that you're at in your life. You'll be able to be matched. And so we should be able to analyze the data, check the number of financial advisors that are in the system, and how did they help, how their services are rated, and how relevant they are to you. Maybe you want someone that speaks the same language, etc. So we can start like automating, right? And giving recommendations. Obviously you want to spread love, so that all your financial advisors, at the end of the day, they get a job. Otherwise, they will be starving. So then the real-time risk monitoring, right? This speaks to like security. Am I withdrawing money in my typical area where I usually go? Am I making transactions at in a province or country where I usually live in? And yeah, these are things that we can track, right? To track the behavior. And we can kick in certain processes, right? If something, if we suspect that something has gone wrong. And yeah, instead of like having like human beings having to call you, can even automate the process where you would need to call a customer to confirm and say, hey, are you input to me, and we've detected a transaction amount of $1,000 being taken out of your account. Could you please confirm if this is you? That can be automated through the detection can be automated via machine learning. And also even the response, right, can be received by a robot and can be initiated by a robot, right? Yeah. And the other one is the conversational bots for basic queries. We've seen quite a lot of that. Even when you go to a Lamborghini website, you can start engaging with the bot to ask it basic questions, and like far more like complicated queries can be handled by human beings, right? So this is an opportunity for us to supplement the experience that we provide to our customers, so that people don't have to wait, right? Especially for like basic queries that they have, right? And I mean, also the opportunity is to customize financial education content, and getting to know what a person's life stage, and getting to know what matters to them, getting to know if they have a family or not, if they're single, and so forth, right? If they're looking for retirement solutions. And yeah, so to actually help them and guide them through their journey, right? So yeah, these are like some of the use cases, right, that I want us to look at. So I just wanted to show you guys just like a quick example, right? If we were to implement some design concepts, right? And in this case, let's pretend that this is my profile. I need to log in back, to experience design. I'm just using experience design as an example here. And at the back, so in the background here, this is my profile picture, because I was logged in previously, and I want you guys to remember this, right? So this says, hey, welcome back, Putumi, you know, and if I click login, I'll enter my password, and from here, this is what I see in my dashboard. Anyways, so what I wanted to demonstrate to you guys is that this was my profile picture here that was used, and we basically, with AI, we can actually take that profile picture, especially if it's a video profile, that because that's a far, like, you know, richer experience where we'll be able to manipulate, you know, the video and use it in different context. So imagine that you are seeing this advertisement that says, don't imagine it, see yourself actually driving the new M2 Beast, which is the BMW. And if you were to see an ad, and now we don't just look at an ad, we actually use your face to generate, you know, an experience where you will feel like you are in the advert itself, and you can see yourself, you know, driving this car, instead of just, like, you know, watching others driving it, right? This is like a richer experience, because now we can use the AI capability and machine learning, right, to be able to detect, right, you know, the face that needs to be replaced. So in this case, this will be the face, and we can take, let's say, imagine this was some like random you know, person in an ad. We can take this, you know, face, and then basically replace it with that person. And yeah, so obviously now it means that we need to be able to have different angles of this face, and that's why, like, a video profile will be you know, a good example to use. But anyways, I just want to share the concept with you guys. And in, yeah, so once you start, like, thinking of machine learning and AI, you know, from this perspective, you can see the number of, like, use cases that would be best suited for us as designers. So yeah, we need to start, like, exploring and sharing, you know, these concepts, so that people can see where machine learning can take us to. So yeah, I hope that was an enjoyable experience. And yeah, I will share a lot of these examples, and so that we can start experimenting as designers.